Hello and welcome to another episode of ADHD with me, Sarah, Wheelie Mama, disabled mum of three, speaker, author, and intuitive empowerment coach.
And me, Donna, tea sorcerer, and Technicolor Swan. That's what it was. Still not convinced, Sarah, but we'll go with it just now.
Today we're going to talk about a topic that we just realised recently that Donna didn't think was a thing: friendship erosion. So if you are thinking to yourself, what is that? Lean in and listen and you will be fully informed.
Or not, because maybe we don't know what it is either.
Well, we're going to give you our take on it, I suppose.
Yes, that sounds good. So, Sarah, what is in your cup and what is on your mind today?
So in my cup, we're still on the orange juice train at the moment with the vitamin C. And yeah, I don't seem to be loving hot drinks too much at the minute for some reason. So I'm just trying to make sure I still stay hydrated and keep my vitamin C levels up until I feel fully recharged after my recent allergy. So what about you? What's on in your cup and what's on your mind?
So in my cup, I have got a first flush Darjeeling from last year. It's weird saying last year. And I can't get enough of it. It is incredible, and I'm so grateful that I didn't lose my sense of taste during my allergy as well. Because this one is so delicate. There's so many interesting notes in there, and it saddened me when I lost my sense of taste before and I couldn't taste it. And yeah, what's on my mind? Apart from the fact that I'm still a little bit ill, the whole friendship erosion thing. I didn't know it was a thing, as you mentioned, and I thought the Sims were lying. I always wondered why, oh, you haven't seen you haven't gone around to this person's house in ages. Oh, the little friendship bar goes down. Why? Why does it do that? It doesn't happen in real life.
Apparently it does. So just for anybody who is maybe not of the, dare I say, video game era or doesn't know what the Sims are, do we want to? I've never actually played it. I do know what it is, but I know you're a bit of a connoisseur. So do you want to give?
Not, to be honest with you, not really. I haven't really played it much at all, but it was years and years and years ago. And basically, Sims is these little characters that you can direct to do things. And you can make them form relationships and sort of do their everyday life essentially. But yeah, one of the things that kind of got me was yeah, as I said, you haven't been around to see this person in like 2 days. They don't like you as much anymore. I'm like, why? Why is that a thing?
Yeah, it wasn't something that I had ever really thought about until you said the other day, and then I was like, oh. Then I went down a rabbit hole of really thinking about it, like really, really thinking about it. And I think for me, there are two levels of friendship. There is like your my friendship level where it's like we pretty much know what's going on with each other without even asking or without ever saying. Like we've just got that connection where we just know, and silence is not taken as a slur or any form of rejection. There is a reason for the silence. You have a beautiful way of handling it because you'll send me a voice note saying, just check in, just send, just send you some good vibes. And then it's like, there's no onus on me to respond if I'm not able
Mm,
to.
hmm
Or, it's just a thing of like, I'm here, thinking of you. I'm here if you need me or whatever, or
hmm
whenever you're ready, I'll be here kind of thing, which is
hmm
beautiful, and it's one of the many reasons why our friendship is so precious to me because I just know that and you've got that beautiful way of being present without being intrusive or needy or there's no massive investment required. But then there are people who I would have given a lot of investment to and who very much made it known that they needed that level of like
hmm
like
hmm
you're constantly like asking something or constantly needing something
Like
from
validation.
me. Yes. And it was
Mm,
like, oh, and then it got to a point where I just was like, I don't have the capacity
hmm
for this. So I would pull back a little bit and like 7 out of 10 of the people are nowhere to be seen now.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me realise that they didn't even seem to notice that I wasn't there anymore. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't check in to see what had happened. They weren't like offended or going to have I done something to offend you. There was no like dialogue to like or no severance as such. I was like, I'm no longer available to this one sided needy
Mm.
nonsense that you're presenting me with.
Yeah.
And then they just filtered off and maybe found someone else to
Mm-hmm.
fill the gap that I was in. But the real true friendships for me are the ones that I might speak to them once a week, I might speak to them twice a year, but it's just the same as if we were
Yeah.
living down the street from each other or seeing each other all the time.
Yeah.
And those are my people because it's like the emotional investment is there, so the mental investment is not required. If
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just and I think those are quite rare, but it just makes me more precious.
Mm-hmm. No, it is. It's interesting because like there's some people, and this is going to sound terrible, but yeah, there's some people that, I sometimes forget that they exist. And that's not it's just kind of like the whole out of sight, out of mind
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
object permanence with people.
yeah,
But it doesn't mean that I don't care about them. Like I have one of my friends, one of my oldest friends actually, will still get she still lives in Aberdeen. Whenever I'm down there, I'll send her a message, be like, are you able to dump? And if she's not able, then it's fine. She's
yeah,
got her own family, it's not a big deal. But then, if I see her, it's as if like no time has passed,
exactly.
which
Yeah,
is amazing. And it's quite interesting because I have a friend here actually. Hi, Ailey, if you're listening. And she's terrible for the whole, oh, I forgot this person existed type of thing.
yeah,
But again, when I see her again, it's just like as if no time's passed. You know what I mean? It's not,
yeah,
it's exactly the same. And
yeah,
she's bloody brilliant. And she totally gets my brain as well. But it can be quite bad because she'll forget I exist, or I'll forget she exists.
yeah,
So we can go for quite a while, like and not see each other, which is really sad because she is awesome. But
yeah. No, I totally get it. And also, I have an awful habit. I think about somebody a lot, but I don't actually message them or think. As far as they're concerned, I've dropped off the face of the planet. But in my head, over the last 2 weeks, I've had 19 conversations with them and thought, all the things. But then sometimes translating that into an actual conversation, I just don't have the steam to do
mm,
that or to pick up my phone. And to be honest, although I spend a lot of time on my phone for many, many reasons, when I'm exhausted or when I'm drained or when I don't have any spoons left, my phone's the first thing to go. Like I'll turn things
okay.
on silent and I'll kind of shut the world out. So, and that's my link because I live in a really remote place. I don't commute to work every day, so my phone is my link to the outside world. So when I'm in a shut off, disconnected frame of mind, people aren't going to hear from me. But I'm still everything's still going on up here. But I just don't have the capacity to pick up my phone and have a conversation. That's the other thing too. The people who have disappeared out of my life, I don't know whether they think we're still friends, whether they, because we only know one side of it. Because
Mm-hmm. Oh
I
yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know whether we are still friends, whether they're holding some sort of a grudge against me. I have no idea. And I suppose if there is somebody out there listening to this who maybe filtered out of my life for some reason and is harbouring some kind of a thing or is feeling hurt or hard done by, I just want to let you know it is not personal. It was not deliberate. It was not a conscious decision to like lose touch with you. So please, if you are harbouring anything or feeling bad, please don't. Because life's too short and I'm still here. I'm still the same person as I always was. So yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's important to say.
You might get inundated with lots of people going, "Oh yeah, we thought you disappeared." I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's not loads, but I mean, I suppose the biggest thing for me was I used to work in an office every day for like 15 years or so. Every single day, and I sat beside the same people day in, day out, went for coffee breaks with the same people and all that there. And then once I started working from home, I literally I've seen about two of them, and then you go, well, are we still friends? Like, what, and at the start, I was kind of like, I wasn't obviously as important to them as I thought I was, or,
Hmm.
they haven't, but then I'm going, hold on a second, you haven't made contact with them either, so there's always
Hmm.
that thing of like, it's a two-sided thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but then I have seen them like out in town and stuff, and they'll stop and have a chat, and like, it's different, of course, but it's weird how we can make things a thing in our head that
Hmm.
aren't even a thing. But then flip that round, we can think everything's rosy in the garden and everything's totally fine. And somebody else could be sitting there seething that we haven't put in enough effort into the friendship. So who knows? And I
Yeah.
suppose that is probably the thing that I would want to take away from this, and to we can only see one side. We can only see our
Hmm.
side and our version of events, but there is always another side, and it's not always what you think. So
Hmm.
before you start cutting people off and like holding grudges, maybe take a look around and to see the 360 degree of the whole thing and go, maybe this isn't what I thought, and maybe I'm harboring this and it's taking energy that I don't need to spend on this resentment. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or we maybe just forgot about you and you'll appear and it'll be fine. There is
exactly.
also that.
Yeah.
Or it could be like me and like you're saying you're having all these conversations with people in your head. And I do that and then I think I've sent a message to somebody and I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I've told somebody something in a dream and I didn't actually tell them.
Oh my God. Just when you say that, I woke up the other morning fuming, and I mean fuming, that I'd had an argument with one of my friends in a dream, and I was seething. Then it took me a good hour to realize that didn't actually happen. It was just a dream. And then he messaged me, and I didn't even want to reply to the message. I was like, "How dare you?" I was like, I was like, "Yeah." And then I realized, God, that actually didn't happen. It was literally a dream that is not real. Get rid of that rage inside of you because it's fake. It's ridiculous.
I don't know if I've ever had an argument like that. I don't know if I've ever experienced that part, but I've definitely like told my husband something and then something that we need to do or there's something and like I turn around to him and I'm like, yeah, but we need to do that this day. And then he's like, I don't know.
It's the
And it
first
turns
I've heard
out,
of it.
we had the conversation in my dream and I'm like,
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. We bring people in at random intervals in the dialogue that's going on, and we
mm,
expect them to be up to speed with the secret bit that we haven't told them.
yeah.
Yeah. But again, I think that's because I know we've spoken before about the train tracks. There's
Hmm.
so many thoughts and so many things happen simultaneously for us.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
would be impossible. Like, our lives just aren't linear. They're just
Hmm.
not. So it would be impossible to, well, say impossible. It's clearly not impossible because some people manage it. But for me, it's impossible to keep on top of everything and know exactly what. Like,
What's real and what's in your head.
yes, exactly. Yeah. I think as well, we touched on the whole thing of like neurodiversity and time blindness. I think that's
Hmm.
got a good portion or a good part
Hmm.
to play in the whole thing of friendship erosion. And
Yeah.
maybe, and again, this is me making sweeping statements, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like friendship erosion is so much of a thing with two neurodiverse
Mm.
people.
No, I think so as well. And I think that you're right. I think it's partially to do with timeliness. I also wonder if that's why we gravitate towards each other because we feel the same similar kind of neurodivergences
Yeah,
in each other's brains.
yeah,
We understand the world in a very, very similar way, and we don't like neither party experiences a friendship erosion. So, that's why you can just kind of pick it up and be like, oh yeah, this is exactly the same as if it was yesterday. That was the last time I
yeah,
talked to you. So I
exactly.
think that's maybe another reason why we do gravitate towards each other as well,
Yeah,
because
and
we do understand this.
the fact as well that we know, at least have a good understanding of what each other are dealing with as well. We
Mm-hmm.
don't like ladle on these unreasonable expectations on each other of like, you must message me every day and you must this and you must that. Yeah, I think it's when you can empathize and and how much it actually takes to just maintain your life like just
Hmm.
with all the things and all the boxes you need to tick and everything. The fact that we can still make time and space for each other is a real honor for me. It's like, oh, you only have maybe this tiny little window for connection or whatever in your week or in your day, and you choose to give it to me. So it's really like it feels really special, and it's like, yeah, I have multiple and multiple unread messages in my phone still. Might take me some time, but I'll always respond to you because it's like I know that no matter if I only replied with a full stop or an exclamation mark, you understand that like
Yeah.
that.
There's no pressure. There's
Yeah,
absolutely no
exactly.
pressure.
So, and I think that's yeah. So I'm prioritizing it not because I feel I need to, but because I want to, and because
Hmm.
there's that level of respect and understanding and shared experience.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
helps me to respond to you because it always pulls me out of the hole, and that's what I was saying to you before we started recording. It never ceases to amaze me how, no matter how much chaos is going on in your internal world or in your external world, even you can always bring a sense of calm to my chaos, and you can always help me to like prioritize and rationalize, and no matter what's going on for you, and that's a real superpower, and that's one that I just don't have. Like, well, I say I don't have it. If there was a real crisis going on, I can absolutely step into like support mode and do, I really can. But for the most part, I can't even sort out my own shit, never mind anybody else's. Like, so I really admire in you how, no matter how, like, in the midst of a storm, you can still be like, we can do this. Let's break it down. And you can always bring me back to center, which even a lot of times my husband can't even do that. So, yeah.
Because his brain doesn't work the same.
It doesn't. Yeah, it absolutely doesn't. And that's true, probably because you know how my brain works. You can get there quicker because it's a mirror of yours.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true. But
Hmm.
it's still an amazing superpower, so don't underestimate it.
And this is why Sarah's decided that I'm a swan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where the swan thing came from. For context,
I'm still not convinced about the swan thing. As I said, we'll go with it for now.
yes.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of ADHT, where we explored the idea of friendship erosion and the fact that I really thought that The Sims made it up, and I'm still convinced that The Sims did personally make it up. Um, and how we, as neurodivergents, tend to gravitate towards each other.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, maybe leaving us a review or a comment underneath. And also, if you know anybody in your life who would benefit from this or would enjoy listening, please feel free to share it as well. You can connect with Donna on all of her Unravel Tea social media. You can find me mostly on TikTok at Wheelie Mama. I'm also on Facebook, and my website is wheeliemama.com, and we will put everything in the show notes as usual.
Thank you. Bye bye.